Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know what time it is, man. This is Spotlight Wednesdays, where we review or interview, influential people within the community that's doing something within the community that's positive, that's showing the kids a light to get out the community, man. Today we got my man Rosegold Rackz on here. What up, Rosegold?
What up? What up?
Ain't too much. What up, Lou?
What up, everybody?
Okay, yours is a little bit crackly on the voice side,
Okay.
but outside of that, man, this is sponsored by Trades Generations, Makers Mark, and Cavassier, man. This is Spotlight Wednesdays, man. We have a good interview going down with y'all today, man. Hope everybody is tuned in to see my man and talk about my man's, his success. We're going to finally talk about the success. You know what I mean? Not the downfalls. We're going to talk about the success, man. Has a new project out called True Story. If you ain't picked that up, make sure that y'all go pick that up on each and every digital platform that's out there, man. Hey, it's a nice little tale. I listened through the whole album, man. Rosegold Rackz, what's your favorite song on the album?
I would probably say one of my favorite song probably will be "Don't Worry About It."
What you like, the melodic groove?
Yeah, I like how I can ride to it. That was really inspired by the Headshots. Because in the chorus, I say I spend my time getting high. I ain't worry about it. I just took that from I ain't got no time to be worried about you other suckers. I spend my time getting high than a motherfucker.
Definitely. For the people who don't know who Rosegold Rackz is, let them know.
Rosegold Rackz is an artist in Columbus, Ohio, from Akron, Ohio, by way of Columbus, Ohio. Been rapping for a long time. Started out as Young Ridiculous, ended up as Rosegold Rackz. My first project came out in 2006, and that was called Block Veteran.
You mentioned you from Akron, Ohio, but now you coming by way of Columbus, Ohio. What's the difference in doing music in Columbus, Ohio versus Akron, Ohio?
To be honest with you, it's done on a much larger scale. It's like pretty much like you already in the industry for real. You constantly doing shows, you constantly building a fan base. People is really tuning in and tapping into your music. You could be shit. I really want to say you could be a nice local artist here for real, because people really tap in and follow and get into the groove and support as far as merch, booking you for shows and shit like that.
How has the support been since you dropped the project?
Out of Ohio, this is the #1 city as far as streaming and sales by far. Shit, by far. Like Columbus has been right behind me 100%. I haven't. It's scary to receive this kind of support from a place that you not from. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck they embracing it for? Why they following me? But shit, the music is good. Fuck it, follow it. But the love has been there for real. I love it.
We want to take you back to the Young Reed days, man. What was your first project in the Young Reed days?
The first project was Drug Music in a Ziploc Dot. That's how I really got people hip to me at Akron. I did like a little 3-song demo, burnt it up, put some cars in it, and hit all of the clubs out and passed the CDs out like flyers and shit. The first song on that was called Block Veteran. And shit, that's what I was really known for. So when I finally got an album to be ready to be put out, that's what I called the CD. But my first actual thing was Drug Music in a Ziploc.
What age? How old were you then?
I would say I was 21, 22 years old.
Okay, and we gonna do this right, Lou. I'm gonna let you. We're gonna switch off. We're gonna do this right today. So I'm gonna let you go before I ask my next question.
I was gonna say, what's the difference between with your thought process of doing music now versus back then when you was Young Reed?
The thought process is nothing different, and that's why I think I've been able to be as successful with the music in such a short term, because I haven't really adjusted to the times. I took the times and put them with the old times, and I'm putting them both together and making them both work. A lot of people now that's rapping, they only want to do it online. I'm on the ground with this shit too. You dig what I'm saying? So I'm still out here in the clubs passing out flyers. I still got street teams, motherfucking putting up posters and shit. I'm still going to the radio stations and shit, not waiting on the radios to find me. I'm blowing down on the DJs in the club, trying to give them some money, talk about play this shit. You feel me? The old ways that you had to
Oh,
do it, not just posting online like these online niggas is doing now.
how important is that? You know what I mean? The marketing scheme of getting the music out there, because just like you said, everybody is now
Mhm.
social media bandits, basically. You know what I mean?
Right,
And
right.
they think just because they post their music on social media, they don't have to do the footwork or the groundwork to get everything going. They don't think they have to take their music to the clubs and still holler at the DJs. They some people think you already should have it as the DJ. You
I
know what I
look at
mean?
it. I look at it like this. Like, we old schools per se. So if you come from the streets, you couldn't wait for a, a motherfucker to come get your product. You had to get out there and put your product on the market. So when you're online, I look at it like I'm waiting for people to come to me. I don't like being a waiter. I'd rather go to you and market my product. So I'm out in the streets with it. I'm really trying to be in front of people's faces. I'm not waiting on people to find me. I'm gonna find you.
That's what's up. True story. That's your first project back after taking some time off from music. What was
Right.
the motivation behind getting back into it, and what made you say True Story was going to be your introduction back to the world?
My motivation was my guy Tej was putting out a project, um, top of the food chain. Shout out to that if you haven't heard it. Download that, stream it now. Me and Sweets did a couple songs, and it was such a stress reliever. It was an ability for me to get shit off my chest, and I just liked it. I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna keep going back. Sweets was like, nigga, you crazy, but I just kept going back, and then that's when I started working on Success Story, and we went out to California, as you know, for my guy's bachelor party to shoot, and you introduced me to Polly Rob. And once I got introduced to that whole group of guys out there, it kind of felt like when I was in the studio doing that first Lord Knows, it was like a goddamn Chronic album was about to be made, because there was so many talented people in one room and everybody for the common goal of just making good music. It was just so dope to me. I wanted to be a part of it. So I just really started tapping in after that.
You mentioned Polly Rob. Shout out to my guy Polly Rob. Yo, Polly Rob. Um, what's the difference in the production from then till now? Because the music is totally different. It's like it's on a whole new wave. You know what I
Um,
mean? What was the difference in your production? Like back then, there was the it was still kind of
More
West
West
Coast back
Coast.
then.
It was more influence based upon what we was influenced on, which was the Bay Area. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So you would hear most of that mob, that AWOL sound, and that's what we wanted to hear. That's some shit that sounded like Sibo or Killer Tay or some E40 type shit. But now it's just after so long of being able to be tapped into so many different coasts and different types of music and different artists coming, you become more worldly to the kind of music that you want to make. So it's not really a genre for me. It's just put the beat on. You feel me?
For sure, for sure. So the project out now, you getting the feedback. What's the people's favorite song?
A lot of the people's favorite song is "Gotta Watch 'Em." The most streamed song is "All I Gotta Say About That," which is really my favorite song. Fuck don't, I ain't gonna say fuck, don't worry about it. But "All I Gotta Say About That" really is my favorite song. I take that back. That's my favorite song because it's more heartfelt to me. Um, but "Don't Worry About It" just got that vibe for the summer. I can't wait to shoot that video for that. I think
It's
that's gonna be real dope.
around on you. One day this gonna be your favorite song, and then you're gonna be feeling a certain way, and this other one gonna be your favorite song.
Yeah, that's how shit be.
Hell yeah, hell yeah,
Right, right.
Mhm.
I love All About the Money too, though. With
yeah.
shout out to 211 on there.
What
Shout
what
out
was
to you.
your one when you was making it? What,
I
I'm
was
about to
just
shoot
thinking
though.
about my life at the time, the things that I had been through here, the things that I had been through just to get some money and shit like that, dealing with women, dealing with all type of uh schemes and scams and late night shits just to get some bread and shit. So it just made sense.
Uh-huh.
Lou mentioned that you took a break from music for a while. What was the reason for that?
The reason was for really I started taking on family life more. And it was honestly a point in time when shit just started happening in life where I just got fed up with music and the way that shit was going. And it just seemed like sometimes I know you are artist as well. Sometimes it seems like you just putting so much into something and you're not getting much back in return. So with that, when that came, I still love music and I still love rap. I started trying to do radio and shit like that. And in radio, I was still trying to incorporate my songs just to get people to hear me, still try and play that role. But then it came to the
I
point where
remember.
I know you were there. You were there. Spin that. But it still comes, yeah, it still comes a time where you just be like, okay, it ain't for me. It's more about these people that I'm getting in here. Then with the radio, it came managing. And with the managing, it was like, okay, I know enough in the music business and have been through enough to help out some artists. But then I started thinking, well, then I started getting artists and shit. And it seems like when you start managing artists, it's like they think they got a deal. And it's like, no, it's not a deal. It's a manager. It's like, I'm not even your investor. I'm your manager. My job is to handle your career, not invest in it. If I invest in it, that's a plus, but I can't foot the whole bill. And that's what you get. And when I don't want to say, but you get that more so on a local level, that the mistake becomes manager as an investor, and people don't know that it's a difference in that shit.
Right. I put up a few posts about that. Because when a person actually signs to management, it's usually one of their friends or somebody
Right.
they cool with. They automatically think that, okay, you're going to invest your money into their project. They don't and I had to put up the definition of management as opposed to a label or A&R or something like that. So people really understand a manager is not your label.
Right.
It's not their job to put money towards your career. It's their job to
We're
manage your
trying to
career and
find
put it
you
in
a
the
label.
direction. Yeah, definitely. You know what I
Right.
mean? So that's very important for artists to know because they get it confused so many times. It
And
made
they
me stop wanting to manage. You know what I mean?
exactly because the manager doesn't even really receive any money. Let me get you some money so I can get some money.
Yes. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
the manager got to have something to manage first. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Exactly.
You got to give
Exactly.
the manager something to manage. So it's like, yeah, it's one big circle. You know, I
So with
know.
that, so with that being said, I start getting discouraged with management and looking at the artists and all of that, and not just the artists that I was managing, but watching these shows and shit on a local level and looking at the difference from what you were saying, Lou, um, the people from my city and the people in Columbus. Now, when I start thinking about rapping again, I would look at uh, the Columbus artist videos. I would look at how they looked, how much they was actually putting into their videos, as far as budget wise. And these dudes wasn't coming with management, they was coming with big budgets. So that was like, okay, yeah. Now I'm getting in my head that I want to rap, but it's like if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do it right and start really trying to save up some money towards the shit so I can be on the right frame of doing it on this level like these dudes around me is doing it because niggas around here is really focusing on getting deals and getting them for real.
Do you think if you were still living in Akron, you would have got back into music?
No, hell, hell,
Said no. So,
no.
but your sound still originates from Akron. What was
Yeah.
some of the people that you got influence from that kind of help influence your style?
Woo, that's easy. I started out honestly with Buzz. If y'all ain't hip to Buzz, Buzz had Ronnie Raw and Flo, Probable Cause. They was like the first dudes, they was with AWOL. So I started out as a young dude under them. I ended up messing around with VEC back in the day. Them was my homies back in the day. AK Rowdy, you feel me? Next thing you know, I always was influenced by my neighborhood, which was Sweets and D Nut. Shout out to the Headshots. I think they really pioneered the game as far as really wanting to rap and do it like you can make it on the radio type shit. Um, Felony One, of course, Felony One and D Nut used to be like the hardest in the world to me. Like nobody could just fuck with them niggas. And then Chino and Ampachino came along, and then that just really like molded my style and really showed me how to work on my craft and put more work ethic into my flow because they was working hard with it. So I'm really a product of act.
Yeah, for sure,
Yeah.
for sure.
True story. This is all tell about your life,
Mhm.
pretty much.
Mhm.
Is it starting back from the beginning and telling the story all the way to the end, or you just dropping in segments of your life?
Dropping in sporadic segments.
Okay.
Dropping in sporadic segments. I should have thought about how to do it. That took too much thought though.
Gotta get out that entrepreneur
Maybe on
shit.
True Story too, we might take it from somewhere and make it happen.
Definitely. Go ahead, Lou.
How did you do about selecting your songs as far as your track list? How'd you go about that?
I really did what to be honest, it really wasn't no song selection. You feel me? It was like what Polly sent me a bunch of beats, and the ones that I could work with ended up just coming out like we got to keep these. You feel me? Until we got a certain amount of songs, we just kept them. It wasn't no song that we just said no, it's not going to be on the album. I made 14.
Order to put them in. How did you select what order to put them in?
That was by Polly's blessings. Polly put the order together, and we put the skits down and made it a love scene.
Okay.
Dope. The song "Lord Knows," man. Who's on that record?
Big shout out to TF from Lord Mob, and big shout out to Washe Choir on the hook.
How was it working with different artists out in California that had a buzz as well? You know what I mean? And incorporating your sound in with their type of sound.
At first, I was nervous as fuck, shit, and because I didn't have a buzz, I was really just trying to establish one. I was coming out there to shoot my first video, so I mean, in my mind, I know I'm a good artist. I feel like I'm hard, but I don't know how outsiders is gonna receive my sound. You dig what I'm saying? So until like I did my first take and they received it, then that's when I really loosened up and then just started going in. I ended up doing like 2 songs that night and 3 the next day. I was nervous about doing the first verse.
That's dope.
You got something to say, Lou?
No, I thought you was about to go ahead and get into the record.
Okay, we're gonna get into the song. Go ahead and introduce your son, Young Ree. Or excuse me, I'm so used to calling you Young Ree. Rosegold.
Rosegold Rackz. What is this? We going into Lord Knows right here?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is my first single off True Story, Lord Knows, featuring PF and Washe Choir. Lord Knows.
Let's get into it right now. You about to hear it first right now. Speaker Leakers Radio. This one is called Lord Knows, Rosegold Rackz. Let's get into it. Look.
Okay. My niggas hit the block and stay consistent. God bless the niggas out here bitching. God bless the niggas out here bitching. Lord knows, Lord knows. My niggas hit the block and stay consistent. God bless the niggas out here bitching. God bless the niggas out here bitching. Lord knows, Lord knows.
Ain't no white flags, just casualties of war. Spray enough shots to spill my name all through your car. Why you in the game if you ain't came to leave your mark? Shouts out to the lokes that got shit whacked out on the yard. I put some white together, made a band like Linkin Park. I ain't fucking with no rats, but my flag match Leonardo's. Yeah, I'm like a Martian when it come to moving targets. But even if I missed them, still attention him important. God damn it, I blew a fortune. Should've threw it on the mortgage. Instead I bought ammunition and some jury and a pink slip to a Lincoln. Went through bullshit a few years like Ben Gordon. Addicted to the night, and every night I had it snowing. Yeah, I'm tricky and I'm bogus. If you know it, then you know it. So even if you see me leaving, bitch, believe me, I ain't going. They say life's a bitch, well, picture this, I'm motorboat. Everything's scandalous and we leading scoreboards. Kill it.
My niggas hit the block and stay consistent. God bless the niggas out here bitching. God bless the niggas out here bitching. Lord knows, Lord knows. My niggas hit the block and stay consistent. God bless the niggas out here bitching. God bless the niggas out here bitching. Lord knows, Lord knows.
I got my game from the wisest ones. Niggas with pies and guns. They pull me to the side like, ride with us. We on a mission. See, I can handle it, been in the kitchen. Your boy been Pyrex whipping, he got vision. Your boy been Moet sipping, he been consistent. Plus he keep that top 10 quality they been missing. Smart enough to shut up, sit back and listen. What's good, but two sports could quarterback it and pitch it. The league MVP on your MP3. Niggas envy me, trying to put an end to me. I got it though, when it's money called baby, I gotta go. Always trying to find out who's shopping, I gotta know where the money.
My niggas hit the block and stay consistent. God bless the niggas out here bitching. God bless the niggas out here bitching. Lord knows, Lord knows. My niggas hit the block and stay consistent. God bless the niggas out here bitching. God bless the niggas out here bitching. Lord knows, Lord knows.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Rosegold Rackz right there. That was called Lord Knows, featuring TF and what's the other person?
Washe Choir.
Washe Choir, man. That's my favorite, one of my favorites on the album right there. Simply because you never lost your style that you started with. You never lost the sound that you started with. You know what I mean? It kind of took me back to the old Rackz with the sound that's over different types of beats. How important is it to be versatile as opposed to, you know, just in one genre of rap? How important is it to give your life into rap?
I think when you more so versatile, you can make more money per se. If you're in the game to make money, this is a good game where you need to be versatile because shit, niggas is gonna want features, and you got to be able to be on each different person's type of time. You can't just put yourself in one box. And also, when you just got one sound, you just for these listeners, you're not for everybody. So like I got another project coming after this that's a totally different sound with a down south sound, just to show niggas that ain't just what I'm doing right there. You know what I'm saying? I think you really got to just be more well-rounded with this shit to make that kind of money, because who just wants to make one lane when it's a whole pot out there?
Sure. Hey, so Leno had mentioned Washe Choir. You got several songs on there with Washe Choir. What was it about his sound that made you say, I want to do multiple records with Washe?
He has a dope sound, actually. And more so the hooks that Washe make is so relatable to my life. It's like I need that song. Basically, it's like he's been through it. You can tell when he's writing about, he knows about a thing or two, and he got that soulful voice, and he's intelligent if you know him. So it's like it's well rounded and well put together.
Because it's like when you're in the studio, y'all just got to clicking immediately. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He broke the mold for me. He really broke the ice. I think he saw that I was nervous that day and was like, I was the new kid at school, and came and sat beside me like, you can sit on the bus with me. You feel me? He let me sit beside him that day. So that worked out.
While we talk about people on the album,
I'm about to beat Lou up.
There's a lot of people interview with the making of the project, as well as once the project came out there. You know, I came down there with you. There's people out there putting stuff up on polls, everything. Once you go out and shout out your team, that's all involved with, you know, just making this project what it is today.
Oh yeah, shit. Big shout out to everybody that made it what it is today, as far as you, Lou, Sweets, the whole local astronauts, Jasmine Suites, um, Doe Networks, of course. My guy Sandman out there working in the streets. Brand guy for helping keeping me busy in these shows and marketing everything for me. Even my nigga Pyrex for always being there, keeping my name out there going. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to my guy Slick at 1067 for getting me on that radio and giving me that time in the clubs too. Shout out to all the DJs. DJ No Limits, DJ King David. Shout out to y'all.
Oh, you kind of see. This is what I be talking about, Lou. I'm about to beat Lou up. I had a question, and then I made me forget the question. What would Rosegold Rackz be doing if it wasn't music?
Shit. What I'm trying to do now, I'm trying to get into logistics, trucking, shit like that. I'll be doing something in the entrepreneur field, being my own boss for sure. But that's what I'm working on right now, trucking.
How was the whole, getting your businesses started in a whole new city and everything? How was that hard to get them going and everything? Because now you got your businesses going, they successful. You got everything
No,
going in the new city.
it's easier here. They show love here. They don't. It's like people support. So it's the hardest part is receiving the support. When you come from where I come from, the hardest part is receiving the support. You be like, wow, people really don't got no reason to be biased or to hate. They really just support. So I recommend that to anybody when I tell people if you come down here and start your own business, you're not going to have a problem. People is going to support and give you the direction because it's so diverse here. It's not just one type of people.
True. Damn, Lou. I hate you, Lou. But also, huh?
I was gonna say, go ahead. I got him. I'm loaded.
I done messed up. Go ahead. I done forgot what I was gonna say because you done messed me up.
Don't blame it on me. Blame it on that shit you spoken over there.
I be having it on my mind. Wait for him to finish talking. And here you come with the extra question.
You have you don't be like tripping on it. You know what I'm saying? I was really gonna lead into the next song. Don't worry about it. Is that really what that song was about? You know what I mean?
Right. Hold on before you get into that. I just remembered the question.
Yep, that's exactly what it's about.
The question. Don't answer that question just yet. I posted something yesterday that I seen on Instagram where it was with Charlemagne, and he was talking about how people believe that this is still a young. Well, people think it's still rap is for hip hop is a young sport, and he was explaining that died like a decade ago. A decade ago is when all this simple rap came out, bubblegum rap. You know what I mean? And he's saying he was saying that when people think that you're over your prime, and you see a lot of OGs who reinvented themselves and making it work out here. How important was that for you as opposed to, you got the Stack of Babies and their sound and it being a whole new generation of different music, Detroit type music and stuff like that. How are you able to make it through that type of music? You know what I mean? And
you know what? Easy. I tell people, I've been telling the people this since the beginning of time. Real hip hop and real bars don't die. You've seen too many rappers come and go, and it's still people like Fabulous, Jadakiss, Fat Joe, we could go on with the names of people that really spit bars that's been doing it for years. Shit, even just Snoop Dogg. He's not a gimmick rapper. You know what I'm saying? Timeless music lasts forever. It's the gimmicks that come and go. Those are the artists that really need to be worried. But it's guys like Benny the Butcher, Westside Gun, Conway, shout out to Griselda and all of them that really brought it back to the spotlight to where we're going to make this come back and be right in your face type shit.
All right, Lou, go ahead.
Well, he had pretty much answered the question, but go explain your thought process of making that. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Like I said, I took that. I was just riding around and I was singing that headshot song. No time to be worried about you other suckers. And I'm like, I'm about to steal this from these niggas and make me something hard. And I was listening to the beats and shit. Because one thing about Polly's beats or local astronaut beats per se, it's like I really had to sit down and sometimes some of the beats I had to just ride around for days. Like, do I like this or do I like this? And then one day I wake up and like, oh, this shit is hard. You know what I'm saying? So it took a real thought process to a lot of their beats to just one day I'm just riding, getting high, and maybe after the fifth, sixth time listening to it, like, okay, I can't use this. This is hard. Because it had that West Coast funk type sound. I'm like, but let's see what it do. Came out dope.
For sure. We about to get into that song right now. Introduce that song right there.
This is the going to be the third single off of True Story. We're gonna go back out to LA and fuck with our folks and shoot the video out there. This is Don't Worry About It.
You heard it
It's
first
rap.
right now. And song right now is called Don't Worry About It. Rosegold Rackz. True Story. Pick up at all social media digital platforms right now. You know what it is. Let's get into it. Speaker leakers.
Yo, listen. I spend my time getting high. I ain't worried about it. I ain't worried about it. I ain't worried about it. I put my life on the line. I ain't worried about it. I ain't worried about it. I ain't worried about it. I had to grind to get mine. I ain't worried about it. I ain't worried about it. I ain't worried about it. If you wanna shine, take your time. Don't worry about it. Listen. Don't worry about it. True story. Yo, I put my life on the line. Bench warmer used to ride the pine. Kept telling the coach to let me shine. Game face ready. Settle for the rollie with the plain face. I don't need the iced out Betsy. Still I'm iced out heavy. Throwing dollars in the strip club like it's rice at a Chinese wedding. We shoot dice. Bet $1,000 on 11. Bet another, I come back with a lucky 7. But it's no luck or hustle. More chips than a bag of ruffle. Check out the dough in the duffel. Boy, I get dough on the double. Make the money triple. Not in the counter, but I count it simple. I spend my time getting high. I ain't worried about it. I ain't worried about it. I ain't worried about it. I put my life on the line. I ain't worried about it. I ain't worried about it. I ain't worried about it. I had to grind to get mine. I ain't worried about it. I ain't worried about it. I ain't worried about it. If you wanna shine, take your time. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Yo, we ain't worried about nothing, motherfucker. Matter of fact, we turned nothing into something. Kept the hood pumping, inflated like a good year. Let these niggas hate, cause goddamn, we had a good year. See, it's mind over matter. You can want mine, it don't matter. Cause if you're reaching for mine, you'll get splattered. Pockets got fatter. Look like I got the mumps pumping the cake batter. Got rich off fronts. I ain't about to say that I ain't got no fronts. Niggas know that I could cash out if I want. I hit the gas, mash out with some plump. That means she thicker than a Snicker with a big old rump. I spend my time getting high. I ain't worried about it. I ain't worried about it. I ain't worried about it. I put my life on the line. I ain't worried about it. I ain't worried about it. I ain't worried about it. I had to grind to get mine. I ain't worried about it. I ain't worried about it. I ain't worried about it. If you wanna shine, take your time. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Rosegold Rackz. Don't worry about it, man. What can we expect on this album as the listeners go through? What kind of vibe can we expect?
Kind of vibe.
Yeah.
This is real grown man music right here. A true tale of a kid that was a product of the 80s. That's what you can expect. That 80s reality, New Jack City. That's why it's New Jack Nightmare at the intro. That New Jack City vibe, what niggas had to go through. Coming up, fucked up. No moms, no pops type shit. True story. Something you could relate to if you came up in the 80s. If it wasn't you, you knew an uncle, or aunt, or a cousin that was going through it. You feel me?
Is there any words you would like to leave the people with before we end this interview?
Yeah. Tune in, tap in. I got a lot of things coming up. We got a lot of shows coming up. Please follow me on IG, Rosegold_Rackz. Tap into the True Story. Go back and listen to the success story if you like in True Story and see what started it all. We got No Lies coming next. Then I got I Swear to Tell the Truth coming after that. It's just nothing, no lies, period. You telling the truth this whole way out for the rest of the year. Planning on dropping two more projects. So you're gonna see a lot of it. Period.
Before we go, last question of the night. Top 5 dead or alive.
Shit. Damn, you can't. You gotta let a nigga know you gonna ask him that like the day before.
No, we can't let you know. That's what we gotta hit you with, man.
Damn, that's fucked up, man. Cause I'm gonna feel like I missed somebody. You feel me? But you already, of course, you always gotta say Hove and Nas and shit, cause they made niggas rap. You gotta say Biggie and Pac. So it's like, damn, who would the fifth person? That's fucked up. You feel me? Oh man, that's fucked up, man. If y'all would ask me that. Fifth person, man. For real, just for the longevity in the game and what I done seen them go through. And I would have to give my fifth person to goddamn E40 for real, man. Just
Man, I knew you was gonna say that. That was all in my head right there. I said
like
40 got to be the next thing on this
like
list
you
right here,
would
man.
have to, because you didn't give it to nobody on the West, and nobody is doing what 40 has done. Right now, he's still relevant, he's still hard, and he's still a big brand ambassador. He pushing everything right now.
And still reinventing itself, man.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
we definitely appreciate you, man, for coming on our platform, man, letting the people know and telling your story. You know what I mean? That's basically what True Story is, telling your story. Make sure that y'all go out there and pick up that True Story again on all digital platforms. It's out right now. It's running up the numbers. I seen the numbers going every day. Every day you post it, I said, this nigga, man, he ain't post 5 minutes ago. And I see them numbers raising, baby. So congratulations to all the success that you're having with the album, man, and continued success. You know what I mean?
Last thing, man. Last thing. If you to tell people, invest in yourself. If you on Spotify, if you on any of these platforms, invest in putting your songs in playlists. Know who to talk to, who to really market your shit. If you is just gonna sit back online, work the online. They do actually like try and fuck with you. Work back with them and shit. Spend some money on your shit. My advice to people today is put your songs and playlists and shit like that. Get with playlist curators. That's my advice for today.
That's dope. That's dope. Once again, man, this is Rosegold Rackz, man. True Story everywhere right now, man. Make sure y'all pick that up. Again, we appreciate him for coming on our platform and doing what he do best. You know what I mean? Smoking that ganjapreneur. We ain't even getting into that part of the business, but we'll leave that alone for the next interview. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll be back for sure.
For sure,
Appreciate
man.
y'all.
You listen to Spotlight Wednesdays, man. Spotlight Wednesdays is basically we interview influential people within their community that's making a positive move within their community and making noise. You know what I mean? So we're happy that my man came on our platform and did what he did. Shouts out to everyone. Make sure you tune in each and every Wednesday right here, 5 to 7 p.m. Again, 5 to 7 p.m. Spotlight Wednesdays. You never know who we gonna have. And check us out tomorrow, man, Thursday morning for the Good Morning Mix. And you know, we're gonna bump one of these tracks. I'm definitely gonna play that. I already know which one I'm gonna play anyway. Don't worry about it. Look at their face. They thought I was talking to them. Don't worry about it though. You know what it is, man. We out of here, man. We thank all the people for tuning in right now. Make sure you get with Rosegold Rackz, man. Shout out your hooks real quick before we get out of here.
You can follow me at Rosegold_Rackz on IG, at Gold Rackz on Twitter, and Rosegold Rackz on TikTok and Facebook. Follow me on Spotify as well, please. Rosegold Rackz.
Definitely. We out of here, man. We appreciate everybody for tuning in. Check us out tomorrow, man. Thursday morning for the Good Morning Mix with the whole crew. The speaker lickers, people will be in the building. Deanna K, Big Bree, and my man Trey Cool, man. We out.
Look.